Back here in Vancouver again, the Pacific Spirit Park, Endowment land, and definitely one of my most favorite parks here. It's kind of like just, right down the road, right in the middle of the city, and to have one of the largest parks around for anyone and everyone to enjoy, but not today, because today is a wet, drizzling day. All the sunny days, hopefully it's not all gone, but mostly, especially when autumn and winter arrived here in Vancouver, up here in the north. The day is getting ever shorter, and the night is getting ever longer. Not so bad for now, but daylight saving is going to kick in. In a couple of weeks, we're going to cut short of 1 hour daylight when it's already short right now. But regardless, in spite of the drizzle and the rain, I just decided that, every day after my lunch and after my morning work, and I'm just going to get out. I'm just going to enjoy the fresh air out here. It's just lovely. Air is just so beautiful, really. Look at all this. Well, winter here, or autumn, when fall kicks in, it can be challenging because many of your days will be pretty gloomy, and the sunny sky, blue sky is gone for a while, for a long, long while. It can be scary. Anyone who is planning to move into Vancouver better be prepared. You're not just seeing the greener side, the beautiful side of the city, but you're realistic as well and understanding that it can be challenging. Unless, you are like some of my friends who love, gloomy days. They are people, I admire them. They're not affected, the least by the weather. And that would be ideal. Not so much for me, but I'm grateful and thankful that my schedule is quite flexible, and so that I'm allowed to, take a couple of hours every day, and so that I push myself. I don't really have to do that very much, mainly because, it's become my habit, really. Yeah. It's become my habit that without a couple of hours of workout, some fresh air, it would be pretty challenging, really. Yeah, it would be very, very challenging. And that's what I always love to do. Just taking some time off, Yeah. Look at all this. It's pretty thick as far as the forest is concerned. Just lovely. Yeah. It's a good time to walk your dogs, as long as it's not raining too hard. Well, we have hundreds of thousands of Canadian geese, and not the little geese, not the goose I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that basically will move away, especially when when winter comes, when the sun sets around 3:30 and doesn't rise until way after 9 o'clock. And there are a lot of people who are affected by the weather, and many of them go into depression. That's a reality of Canadian lifestyle. So there are, in fact, hundreds of thousands of Canadians. We call them the Canadian geese. They move down to Florida, those who can afford it, or moving down to Arizona, Texas, somewhere where you have much warmer weather, as well as longer daylight and sunny sky. That brings in a little bit of life. So, but I am very privileged and very blessed indeed. This is one of the very few times in the last many years I've never spent my time up in the north, not even back in London. I hardly ever go back to London during the winter time at all. For the last 7 years since I left London, that I'll only choose to go back, God willing, unless some other reasons that I have to be there in winter time. But otherwise, if I had a choice, I'll only go back in late spring and summertime. So that's how it works. And the reason for doing that is, as long as you have a work, a job, a career that is not determined by your bosses, and you can be your own boss. I think in the 21st century, in the digital world, as long as you have Wi-Fi that you are permitted, though not all kind of jobs, but I believe that most, in fact, as long as you're willing to make a little compromisation, as long as you're willing to be flexible and be creative, that we are all allowed to live the life that God intends us to live as fully as possible, and making the most of whatever circumstances that you're put into, that we're not helpless or not hopeless. We are not victims of the weather or the economical situation, or being plagued by COVID-19. In fact, COVID-19 has helped, I think, millions of people to wake up and to realize that we don't have to be confined, indeed, in a small cubicle or in a country or a city. But I'm thankful, really, and over the past 7 years, and God has given me the freedom to be in places, be in so many different countries, 3 months, 6 months of work. And that has allowed me to have greater exposure as far as different lifestyle, be it in India or Nepal, in Kazakhstan, or in Kyrgyzstan a couple of years ago, or back in the Caribbean on different islands, and Israel, and you name it. So I think I'm not talking about choosing to live a luxurious life. I'm just basically talking about the freedom and choices all of us possess, and we have no excuses to ourselves that our lives are much more precious than all kind of excuses. Oh, it's expensive. Oh, the borders are closed. And do you know that there are many more borders that's open? And even in the COVID-19, and I've gone to 8 or 9 different countries, and my work has taken me and my mission has opened up opportunities, in fact, that I don't find them sometimes, in a normal situation. So yeah, let's not have more excuses to ourselves. I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too weak. I understand that. Yeah, I do a little bit. What do I know? I've been blessed with good health, and but I'm not in perfect health. All of us are subjected to one ailment to the other, and one challenge to the other. But all I'm saying is, yep, just cut down to the very minimum, and to be a minimalist, and to live in my small tiny little suitcase of 10 kg and one little backpack. And for the last 7 years it has been absolutely liberating. And of course, coming back to Vancouver, I have to buy a couple more items, very light item but good and warm for winter, and I'll use them in different places. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just saying that, all kind of possibilities. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so anyway, choosing the kind of life that God desires, for you and I think that will be the best. Not without challenges. No life on earth is perfect. You'll be affected by various challenges, or perhaps hit by unexpected ailments, or being robbed, and being stranded. But hey, all those are growing experiences, absolutely growing experiences, and lift up your spirit and your vision and your eyes to see that, wow, it's all possible indeed. Absolutely, no doubt about that. Oh, this trail is absolutely, beautiful, and it's long. I tell you, you can walk in Endowment land for hours. And I was in Lynn Valley Park for a couple of hours of hike, and after my lunch, and same, it was a little drizzle. I got a little wet, but it's okay, a little discomfort, but hey, you got the freshest of air, and you have just the world in your palms. Anyway, so much of talking. I wish you the best, and wherever you are, and take good care in the most beautiful city in Kolkata, in Colombia, or you name it. Be in Paris, London, Martinique, and life is full of potentials and opportunities, really. So, welcome to the Pacific Spirit Park of Vancouver, and take good care then. God bless. Bye-bye.